Skate parks can be pretty overwhelming for beginner free skaters, so today I'm here with Jack Knapek. We're going to be giving you some tips and tricks for how to approach a skate park for the first time on Freeskates.
First tip is find a beginner-friendly park. What I mean by that is drop-ins that are around 2 or 3 feet, or roll-ins with no coping, banks that have a slightly gradual slope, and overall flat surfaces throughout the park.
Next tip is bending your knees. So when you're at a skate park for the first time, you might realize the moment you go down a bank, it feels like you're getting thrown off your skates or something. Bending your knees is going to give you all the suspension you need to stay on your skates comfortably, and just overall makes it a safer experience. So the next tip is focusing on your pumping technique. When I say pumping, I'm not quite talking about the S motion of free skating. When you're in a park, you more want to focus on using the curvature of the park to your advantage and bending your knees as you go up and down these slopes and on the walls of the park to give you the most speed possible and the most efficient way. So how this works is when you're approaching a bank or a quarter pipe or even just a slight slope in the park, on your way up, you want to start bending your knees. And then on your way down, you want to unbend your knees and push into the ground. And because you're at an angle, pushing down converts into pushing yourself forward faster and propelling you forward throughout the park. This way you don't also have to focus on pumping with the S motion all over the place. You can really just save your energy by focusing on bending and unbending your knees.
Another tip when you're skating in a park is always stretching before you skate. I always stretch before skating a skate park, and it's always super beneficial because I feel so much more comfortable and my range of motion allows me to save myself from potential falls or mishaps that can happen throughout your skating. I highly recommend stretching.
Next tip is to always start small with whatever obstacles or parts of the park you're trying to hit. So even if it's a bank, it might be a good idea to start halfway up it or just start at a really small bank so you're not getting ahead of yourself. At this park, there are small banks, there are medium banks, there are very large banks, and that goes for quarter pipes, stairs, and all that stuff too. Start with the small stuff. See what you can handle, especially if it's your first time at a park, and just practice that over and over again. That way it's a lot safer and you can really work on your skills more efficiently that way.
Another huge tip is skate park etiquette. Skating in a park as a free skater can be a difficult challenge in and of itself, but when you got people on BMX, scooters, skateboards, all taking turns, you just cut them off or snake them. It's not respectable, and eventually I feel like everyone naturally learns to respect everyone in the park and take turns. It's a very important thing to keep in mind when you're a beginner because you could really injure yourself or others if you're not paying attention to their line or their route, and it's something to really keep in mind. I really struggled with this. Definitely caught off some skateboarders and bikers in my first few days at a skate park, but I picked up on it pretty quickly, and I think everyone really does, but it's just something to keep in mind for sure.
So the next tip is following the curvature of the skate park with your body. So at a lot of skate parks, you're gonna find a half pipe with 2 quarter pipes on each side. When you go up it, you might figure out pretty quickly that you can't just stay upright as you're following the quarter pipe. You have to follow the curvature so that your body goes sideways with the quarter pipe and then come back down and flatten out. Following the curvature of the skate park is going to be safer and overall just make you feel more comfortable and balanced. Also, bending your knees is going to be crucial for this point, especially when you really start to tackle a lot higher quarter pipes. When you're all the way up there, you're going to want your knees bent so that you can straighten out on your way back down.
Another tip is planning out your line. So whether that's just throughout the whole skate park or in a bowl, you want to do a thorough look throughout the whole park or the bowl that you're skating and make sure you have an understanding of certain features so that you're not only safe, but you have a planned out route for bails or anything that could go wrong.
Another thing I'd recommend in the skate park is trying tricks you already know from outside the park, just on flat ground, on something with an incline or something a bit different than just flat ground. So one pretty basic thing you could try is practicing turns on a bank and see if you could do a front side or a backside turn. You could try a 180 up a bank if you have those. You could try a throwback. You could try rolling up the bank and then rolling back switch, which leads us to the next point.
Riding switch in a park is one of the more crucial things that you'll learn you need to have developed because it can not only save you from falls, but allow you to have more fun and have a more diverse set of tricks in your bag. One of the best parts about parks like this is they have half pipes where you can train going as high up on each side as you can, alternating from your regular stance to switch. And you want to also focus on your pumping technique, the one that we mentioned earlier on in this video. Another important thing for beginners trying out skate parks for the first time is wearing protective gear. some of the transitions and bowls and banks can be a little overwhelming for a beginner, so you want to make sure you come prepared and gear up so you don't get hurt and are able to come back and keep continuing to progress.
Another tip is just having fun. So it might be easy to see all these crazy videos of Matty Tice and other skaters doing these crazy grinds and flips in the skate park. It might be easy to be frustrated that you can't quite do that yet, but if you're watching this video, this might be one of your first times at the skate park. So there's absolutely no reason you need to be going for those things. If you just focus on the flow and just having a good time at the park, it makes your time at the park a whole lot more fun, and you're just going to be more likely to come back and practice more and more, as opposed to just dwelling on all the fancy tricks. Hope you guys enjoyed that video and found it helpful. Definitely check out this video next. It's all about beginner tricks in the skate park. Think you'll find it useful. If you have any more questions at all, feel free to leave them in the comments. Thanks for watching, everybody, and remember to roll with us.